अच्छा किछि भी जदि मझरे बफर कला ना इश्यू होला किछि भी देन प्लीज लेट मी नो ओके नले मेसेज टे कर देबो टेलीग्राम रे जेंति मु जानि परबी है ना स्टार्ट करू स्क्रीन तो शेयर करूची आज हमें मैरिज एंड फैमिली डिस्कशन करना my screen is visible to all
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Yes, ma'am.
तो मैरिज एंड फैमिली देखिबो तमरो मैरिज एंड फैमिली पेपर 1 रे उठा अछि आ पेपर 2 रे मैरिज फैमिली एंड किनशिप अछि इटरू मोस्टली बहुत ही डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन सब तुमको देखिबा को मिलबो हला जदि मु तुमको एग्जांपल देली एटा तो तमरो पेपर 2 रो केतरा क्वेश्चन पाइथिली देखिबो बहुत डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन सब आसीबो एठी हला तो एटी जंती दे दिछि explain the regional variation in kinship system and its socio-cultural correlates in India. Okay, सेमते तुमको इतरे आसी पारिबो for example जदि मु कहबी evaluate the role of family in socializing individuals in traditional and modern society. Example model question te या फिर तमरा आसीबो analyze the impact of globalization on marriage and family structures in Indian society. Mostly eta तमरा marriage and family in the modern society topic टा cover कर दोछि हैला एंती हमें डिस्कशन करबो लास्ट रे केतरा क्वेश्चन मॉडल क्वेश्चन जोडा तुमको टिके आईडिया हे जबो तो एबे हमें स्टार्ट करू फ्रॉम द बेसिक्स इटसेल्फ फर्स्ट इज किनशिप lineage and descent. We can say these are the basic units that further leads to are the deciding factors about the basis of your marriage, and your marriage later on leads to the formation of family. We can say we can form a family. In a family tomoro kete ma bapa achanti, grandparents achanti, and then we have children, right? But before they are mother and father, they were husband and wife. How they were husband and wife? Through the institution of marriage, right? So marriage is the basis of family formation. So the basic will start with kinship. What do you understand with the term kinship? Anyone? What do you understand from the word kinship? Kinship mano kono?
Kith and kins means relatives like parents, father, and brothers, sisters.
Blood relation.
Blood. They are basically
Connected with
social
blood
relationship based on your either blood relation or through by marriage or we can say acquaintances. जेंति कि तारो दुटा टाइप हे जिवो consanguineal another one is affinal. Right. Consanguineal हे जाउची तमरो blood relation सबु blood relation रे कोन आसीबो mother daughter, father daughter, father son, mother son, right? That is a blood relation. Affinal रे तमरो husband and wife, marriage related, right? Then comes your lineage. Lineage माने आमे जहा कहूछु कुल, right? So what do you understand by lineage?
Is a connection between a generation.
It is basically when you calculate the line of descent from a common ancestor, right? Line of descent from a common ancestor. तमरो बापांको 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 बापा एमती आमे गुटे पूरा lineage काढी गुटे कुळ, right? It then again is divided into two types. What are they? Patrilineal.
Patrilineal and matrilineal.
Matrilineal. Patrilineal जेतले तमे फादर साइड रू तमरो डिसेंट को ट्रेस करूचो. Matrilineal जेतले तमे मदर साइड रू तमरो एटा ट्रेस करूचो, राइट? Then coming to descent. Descent माने कोन?
Relation with a biological relation. Biological relation.
Biological relation. Biological relation है वो की.
Basically, social recognition of the biological relation exist between the individuals.
अब टिके बेटर आंसर टिक कहो के. It is basically your affiliation of any individual with their ancestor.
Sociological affiliation of the children to their parents.
Yes, perfect. तो सेतिरे कोन होची तमे से affiliation through रू तमे larger kin groups formation करूछो. Larger kin groups example कोन होबो जेंति कि clans हिगला, tribes हिगला, right? Then again tomorrow lineage have also various types. Gote hijibo unilineal, matrilineal, and matrilineal to unilineal ro he eta puraso bilateral, unilineal, bilateral agute habo tomorrow ambilineal. तो unilineal माने कोन होची? When your descent is traced either of the one parent, either from father side or mother side. So it is again of two type, patrilineal and matrilineal. Then bilateral descent माने where you are tracing both the sides, from both sides. Example दे पारिबो यारो, because unilineal is a very common system. Unilineal रो patrilineal format टा तमे widely society रे देखियो मिलबो. Matrilineal टा example दे पारिबो कि हेटा सेटा परे देखिबा. आगो bilateral रो example दियो. Bilateral रो हमें आजिकल रो modern society देखि पारिबा, where when it comes to giving a title to a child, both the name of the parents are taken into consideration. Logically सेमती system टी चली छी. In modern societies तुमको देखिया को मिलेबो. सेथिरे तम मदर रो भी टाइटल अटैच करबे, फादर रो भी टाइटल अटैच करबे. आउ कोन होतला ओनली फादर एवं मदर एंड फादर बोथ आर taken into consideration. Something matrilineal ro कोन हबो example? मदर साइड रो माने डिसेंट को कंसीडर करथिबे लिनिएज काउंट कला बळकू.
मैम नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न
Nair community में.
नायर कम्युनिटी तमर मोस्टली केरला रे तुमको देखियो को मिलेबे. आउ मेघालय साइड रे भी अछंती केतडा ट्राइबल कम्युनिटी जो थरे तुमको मैट्रिलिनियल डिसेंट देखियो को मिलबो. इंटरनेशनली जदि मु कहबी इंडोनेशिया रे गुटे कम्युनिटी अछि मिनांकाबो. ओके, से माने भी मैट्रिलिनियल डिसेंट को फॉलो करंती. ओके, लास्टली योर एम्बिलिनियल रे कोन?
इंडिविजुअल चूज करि पारबे फादर साइड.
Individual choose whether they are going to affiliate with the mother side or father side. Individual's choice. Right? तो एटा ही वाला हमारा basic friendship lineage descent. Now on the basis of this, to whom you are going to marry, or tomorrow को clan भितर marriage हे पारिबो, if it is going to be endogamous or it is going to be exogamous, right? ए सब जिंस आमे बे further discuss करिबा. So we will move towards marriage. So what is marriage? What is the role of marriage in the society?
Marriage is a social institution.
And what is its function? तार function कौन?
गोटे हला मैम प्रोक्रिएशन, सेकंड टा हला सोशल कंट्रोल, तापरे गोटे
Sexual
टेंशन
satisfaction.
मैनेजमेंट.
कौन बोलो?
मैम फंक्शन गुडा हला रेगुलेशन ऑफ सेक्स लाइफ गोटे आ गोटे हला रेगुलेशन लीड्स टू एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ फैमिली, इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन, सोशल सॉलिडारिटी, इमोशनल बॉन्डिंग एगुडा.
तो बेसिकली हमें देखिबा our marriage is a social institution. सेटा कोन करची? It is sanctioning the relationship of women, men and women. Sanction the first, it is a social institution or not?
Yes ma'am.
So it sanctions the relationship of man and woman. So basically जेतले मु कहूची sanctions the relationship माने it regulates their sexual life, right? If you are if it is kind of legitimizing your sexual life, marriage legitimizes your sexual life, right? So that you can rear and nurture and bear your offspring, your children basically, and then progress your lineage, right? So marriage is kind of a certification you get or a legitimization you get about your relationship with your partner. Basically that is the basic function of marriage, right? So it allows you to procreate, it gives a legitimized permission, we can say. Society acknowledges your offspring as a legitimate offspring, or else it is seen in a different way, it is seen as unlegitimate, we can say, right? So it is an institution basically which legitimizes and sanction the relationship of men and women. How तार characteristics कौन होबो? It is universal. Marriage तुमको सब जगह देखिवा को मिलिबो, right? And then it fulfills your social, tapre psychological, and also biological, plus your religious aims also. Religious aims can the marriage fulfill करची के कोई पारी. We know society हमको एक standard दीची that by the age of say 28 for women and 30 or 31 for men, you need to get married and have children after 1 or 2 years of your marriage. Psychologically, you get a companion, you get a support system for yourself. Biologically, it satisfies your sexual desires, and it helps to take your lineage further ahead. What about your religious aims?
मैम कैन वी मेंशन ओवर हियर द आश्रम सिस्टम जो थ्रे की गृहस्थ गोटे स्टेज अछि हिंदुइज्म रे, तो दैट रिलेट्स टू दिस.
Yes, that is what I was meaning to say. So Hinduism रे तमरो बहुत एटा कोन से टर्म एग्जैक्टली मु पास जाईची.
सर चारटा आश्रम मैम, 4
हाँ.
आश्रम.
हाँ सेटा तुम माने गुड तमर लाइफ रे तुमको फुलफिल करबा दरकार फॉर योर related to your karmic relations, right? तो सेटा फुलफिल कले जाए, you will be considered as a wholesome individual and your soul will kind of get salvation. You have fulfilled all your karmic relation in this world, we can say. तो सेटा हमें include करि पारिबो. आउ किछ एग्जांपल दे पारिबो? Any more example? Kauk kichha uchi kichi creative. चिंता करो हला ऑन द अदर हैंड आउ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स रे कोन हो तारो मैरिज रो
Ma'am, religiously, there are certain practice which where we need both male and female to do one particular prayer, ma'am. For example, during ancient time, Ashwamedh Yajna, it was both king and queen, they were doing together.
yes we can do that also yes okay good example both of it हला आउ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स रा कोन इंक्लूड करि पारे हमें जेंति बिगिनिंग रे sanctions related it gives social approval right it gives social approval to the relationship of man and woman and if you are in a relationship without the approval of the marriage then it is known as we can say it is sort of invalid that marriage that we cannot say that a relationship is valid or has a standard value एबे हमें सेटा मॉडर्न सोसाइटी रे केमती चेंजेस आसुची से सिस्टम रे सेटा हम फर्दर डिसाइड माने डिस्कशन करिबा लिव इन रिलेशनशिप रो कांसेप्ट जोडा आछी एबे राइट सो इट बेसिकली गिव्स अ सोशल अप्रूवल टू योर रिलेशनशिप and it is also associated with your civil and religious ceremonies okay it facilitate the for the process of procreation and upbringing of the child right so we can say these are some of the characteristics of marriage
हम ए टाइप परिबो कि डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर
division of labor केमती
सेटा इकोनॉमिकल सिक्योरिटी हे परिबो
हाँ सेटा इकोनॉमिकल तमे सेटा
Economical
जेंडर
perspective.
बेसिस रे कहले टिके बेसी माने तमर जेंडर रोल हिसाब रे जो तमे देखिबो इट इज बेस्ड ऑन जेंडर रोल रे कोन होची तुमको जो मेल आर असाइन्ड the duty of taking care of the family and being the breadwinner of the family whereas women are assigned with the duty of rearing and upbringing the child right so set a gender role le pade ase that is better example in there okay division of labor ta basis re hi se division of labor tame dekhibo where men's work are valued more because they work and they consider kara jaye that they are physically more capable they have more potential to work whereas female works are devalued which is why their wages are less as compared to the male counterpart seta tame dei paribo okay
Okay, ma'am.
now coming to types of marriages ketera types achi marriage re
First monogamy, आउटे polygamy,
monogamy
गोटे पॉलीगामी गोटे गोटे ग्रुप मैरिज
सेटा तार सब पार्ट माने आसीबो ग्रुप मैरिज रे हला monogamy and polygamy
आगे
so monogamy is the most common form of marriage that you will see
according to
Right.
Hindu Marriage Act.
yes and it is also considered that it is the only true type of marriage it is the only true type of marriage okay तापरे monogamy रो गुटे सब पार्ट आसीबो तमरो serial monogamy बोली
ते सीरियल मोनोगामी आउटे स्ट्रेट मोनोगामी
yes what do you understand by serial monogamy
सीरियल माने मैम माने गोटे इंडिविजुअल मैरी करि परिबो जदी फर्स्ट स्पाउस रो डेथ हे जिवो आ गोटे को
जब फर्स्ट स्पाउस रो सहित डाइवोर्स हो जाउची या तार डेथ हो जाउची देन दे मैरी वन आफ्टर अनदर एबे जन को डेथ गला तो तापरे he will marry to another one. Then ta sahito jodi divorce he gala,
Divorce
he
ହେଇଗଲେ
will
ବି
marry another
କରିପାରିବ
one.
ଆଗକୁ ଆଜ୍ଞା
That is known as serially is marrying one after another, one after another. A man is marrying, okay? So this is known as serial monogamy, right? Now polygamy, what do you understand by polygamy?
ମୋନୋଗାମୀ ର ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି ନା ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟ୍ ମୋନୋଗାମୀ ଅଛି ନା
हाँ सेटा भी कंसीडर करि पारियो बट सेटा भी लिखि पारियो बट मु ओनली द इंपोर्टेंट वन आई एम डिस्कसिंग एठी
ଆଜ୍ଞା ma'am।
तो पॉलीगैमी रो कहो
It's a form of marriage
Multiple
which
spouse.
multiple partner at a time, at the same time.
इंडिविजुअल हैव मोर देन वन स्पाउस एट अ गिवन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, राइट? नाउ
Yes, ma'am।
पॉलीगैमी रो भी हमें डिवीजन करि पारियो फॉर द रिवीजन।
ପଲିଗାମୀ ର ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା
Polyandry ଗୋଟେ ହବ।
Polygyny ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ polyandry
पॉलीगाइनी
ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ polyandry।
ପଲିଆଣ୍ଡ୍ରି ଗୋଟେ
पॉलीगाइनी माने
One man
More
marry more
spouse.
than two wives।
we can say plurality of wives, most common in your Muslim communities, right?
yes ma'am।
And polyandry,
ପଲିଆଣ୍ଡ୍ରି
opposite?
ହଉଛି ପ୍ଲୁରାଲିଟି ଅଫ
Plurality of husbands.
ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ
plurality of husbands. एडा एग्जांपल दे पारियो?
मैम नॉर्थ ईस्ट ट्राइब किछिटा अछि एग्जैक्टली नाम मन्ने।
मैम तोड़ा ट्राइब।
Yes, तोड़ा
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
in
ଗୋଟେ
India.
ହିମାଚଳ ପ୍ରଦେଶର ବି ଅଛି କିନି ଟ୍ରାଇବ
किन्नी ट्राइब ऑफ हिमाचल
प्रदेश
प्रदेश।
Yes, किन्नी ट्राइब तापरे तमो खासी सेडा भी तमो polyandry रो एग्जांपल दे पारिबे, ओके? तापरे पॉलीगैमी अंडर रे ही आ गुटे तमरो हे जबो आमे ग्रुप मैरिज को भी एठी इंक्लूड करि पारिबे, ओके? What is group marriage?
Multiple wife and multiple husband।
multiple wife and
When
multiple
you have
husband
multiple, you marry at multiple people at the same time, which means multiple wife and multiple husband, okay?
Husband।
तारो किछि एग्जांपल दे पाइबो?
ऑस्ट्रेलिया रो किछि ट्राइब अछंती जोटा कि समान करंती ग्रुप मैरिज। सम ट्राइबल ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया
तार ना कहि पारियोगे? मते टिक ऑस्ट्रेलिया रे
Actually-
आइडिया नै, मते जणा थिला
मैम गोटे पापुआ न्यू गिनिया रो ट्राइब अछि तार
हाँ
नाम
हाँ न्यू गिनिया रो ट्राइब सेटा है। आउ अफ्रीका रे भी केतरे ट्राइबल कम्युनिटी रे एडा देखिबा को मिलबो। एटा रिमेंबर डॉक्टर रिवर्स बली गुटे सोशियोलॉजिस्ट अछंती, ओके? ही said group marriage as sexual communism, okay? से ग्रुप मैरिज को सेक्सुअल कम्युनिज्म बोली कहिथिले, ओके? तापरे या परे भी आउ टाइप्स ऑफ मैरिज अछि जेंति कि तमरो सोरोरल पॉलीगैमी माने कोन?
Plural ମାନେ ଦୁଇ ଭଉଣୀ
husband many wife sister।
Yes, husband marry the
wife sister
wife sister after her death, right? तो सेटा होजे सोरोरल पॉलीगैमी। तापरे तमरो पॉलीगैमी आउ तम पॉलीएंड्री हैज फर्दर टू टाइप्स। तमर फ्रेटर्नल पॉलीएंड्री एंड
नॉन फ्रेटर्नल।
व्हाट इज फ्रेटर्नल?
ସେଇଟା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଦୁଇ ଭାଇ କୁ ମାନେ ଏ woman marry
husband's
two
brother
brothers।
marry after husband death।
फ्रेटर्नल पॉलीएंड्री आगु कोन कहो?
one wife marry more than one brother।
we can say several brothers।
पांचाली
brothers share same wife।
हाँ,
Example,
several brothers or
marry the one girl।
pairs or have a same wife, common wife। जेंति जने कहलो पांचाली द्रौपदी रो एग्जांपल हमें नै परिबो, ओके? आ नॉन फ्रेटर्नल माने
Opposite of fraternal.
Here 80 kono brothers hi gale, but here
It is
not
sisters.
necessarily brothers, not necessarily brothers. Many men
Different
share a
person
common wife.
marriage.
Okay, this is known as your non-fraternal polyandry. Fraternal mane kon brotherhood types. So 80 non-fraternal. There is no brotherhood between the husbands. They can be different people and still can share or have a common wife. Got it? Tapre asibo tomoro basis of marriage. Is it endogamy or exogamy? Endogamy mane kono?
माने सेम सोशल ग्रुप या कास्ट किंद मैरिज होगा.
When you marry in the same
Within the group.
marriage within the group. Yes. Group re toma asibo caste,
Caste asibo, class asibo, tribe, race,
clan,
egoda village.
race, tapre tomar ethnic group he gala, religious group he gala, etc. Okay? Tapre exogamy re
Outside one group.
Outside the group.
it prohibits marriage. We can say first
Prohibits marriage within the group. Okay.
prohibits marriage between certain members of group or in a specific group. Okay, and we can also say it is marriage outside the group. Example?
Intercaste marriage.
Intercaste marriage, interfaith marriage is prohibited, usually not acceptable in the Indian society jodi ame kahi pariba mostly.
Ma'am,
Gotra
ये जो
exogamy.
pindo exogamy, gotra exogamy.
Ha, sagotra exogamy tapre tomara asibo ethi.
Proper exogamy hoga.
Sagotra exogamy,
Family
sapindo
exogamy.
exogamy. Both ache eta etki deep re jibani because it will take a lot of our time. हमको time बाकी जिनसे पाई discussion करिवा पाई है बोनी. But you know, I hope you know all these concepts. Okay. तापरे तमरो आउट आसीबो concept hypergamy बोली. आउ hypogamy. Hypergamy माने कोन?
A male of higher caste can marry female of a lower caste.
Yes. A higher caste male
Marry a lower
marry
caste
a
female.
lower caste female. Okay.
या
को कहा
अनुलोम
जाए
भी कहा अनुलोम.
अनुलोम. Right? And hypogamy is hypogamy re
Opposite of
Female upper
lower
caste
caste
thiba, male
male
lower caste thiba, pratiloma.
marry a higher caste woman or male female. You can say this is pratiloma. Okay. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ या छड़ा भी एंडोगामी, एक्सोगामी, हाइपरगामी, हाइपोगामी, तापर ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଆସିବ ତମର आइसोगामी. आइसोगामी means
Same, दी जनक same thing.
when two individuals marry in the
Equal
social
status.
status families. Okay. IS सहित बाहाला या फिर डॉक्टर मैरिज बिटवीन डॉक्टर्स एंड डॉक्टर्स, इंजीनियर जहाँ भी है सेड़ा होइछि तमरो एग्जांपल. Now this is all about your marriage, basics of marriage. Now let's come to family. What is family? What is role and functions of family? And how is a family composed of? Family first, it is a social
Ma'am,
institution.
social unit composed of husband, wife, and children.
Yes, it is composed of mostly blood relations. Blood relation re tamara. We can also say we have also your conjugal relations composed of husband, wife, and their children.
The family is a group of person whole relation to another one based upon consanguinity.
Yes, correct. So blood relation among your husband, wife, blood relation no hale bhi conjugal relation bhi among your husband, wife, children, and they share a common roof. They live under one roof. Okay, this is your typical example of your or typical definition of your family. And family is your primary agent of socialization. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And also social control. Because family teaches us about the rules and regulation of the society so that we can inculcate it and survive in the society, right? We start learning these rules and regulation or our norms and values from our family itself. It is our first school. Family is our first school. Our mother is our first teacher, right? Se concept ame eti include kari pariba.
Eta likhitariya ki ma'am family provide identity card to a person.
Yes, seta ta good characteristics of family. Right.
Okay.
So we'll now discuss again characteristics re tomaro kon asibo. First joda tome kahilo, it gives identity to an individual. You get your descent, you get your lineage, you get your title and everything from your family itself. You as an individual is first take a shape or a member of the society. You take a safe beginning from your family. Then you move towards the society at large. Right? How kon habo? Characteristics.
Common habitation habo.
Common
habitation. Yes.
Member are
economic provision haba. Economic provision.
Yes, economic provision. Economic provision re kon habo?
More than one person are earning money.
Yes,
person.
Head of the family, which is mostly your father or the male members, will earn money through a profession and fulfill the economic needs
of the family. All member of the family.
Right. Whereas your mother or the female will take care of the household chores and will serve the duty of upbringing and taking care of the child. Right? So this is your economic provision. How? Common habitation jana kahithila.
Mating relationship hobo. Common
Mating
habitation.
Mating relationship re kon hobo?
Both are connected with the one relation.
It is, basically you get a jente ame marriage discussion kartila, we get sanctionship, and through mating relationship we can produce our progeny, right, and establish a family. Kebolo husband and wife re family compute honi. We need children for that, right? And after we have children, the children will have their own children and then lead the legacy or the lineage of the family. How this can happen? Only through when we have a legal sanctionship to our mating relation, and through mating we can produce this offspring, right? How characteristics are kon habo?
Emotional support.
Yes. Ago kon thila, marriage is just two people coming together only for the purpose of procreation. But now, present day society, it is actually more about having a emotional support, a companion to support you, to be your support system. This is your present day concept of marriage. आगो अरेंज मैरिज करूथिले पेरेंट्स जिबे देखिकी पळे आसीबे से तांको भितरे सेटल करिवे एंड दे विल मैरी द चाइल्ड माने मैरी द टू इंडिविजुअल से भितरे तमरो डिसीजन विषय बेसी किछि कंसीडरेशन करा जाउ नथिला बट नाउ it is all about how you perceive your partner, your standards of the partner, your happiness, and your standard of what kind of partner you need, how much emotional support you need in your life, right? Se sobu jinso bhi ajikali consider korchandi when we see or perceive or approach a partner, right? So these are your characteristics. Now coming to the types of family. So broadly, how many types of family we have?
Two types.
Two types. One is your nuclear family.
Another is joint family.
Joint or extended family. Okay. Nuclear family. What is the characteristics or what are nuclear family?
Father, mother, and his children.
Father, mother, and children. Okay.
Children.
And you will see mostly this in the modern society or urban society. Right? And this nuclear family is based on your conjugal bonds. Right? And also we can say there is more freedom in a nuclear family because you don't have your elderlies or in-laws to impose any restrictions, which is why you will see in today's time people love to have a nuclear family because it is them and their partner and their children, and they get a lot of freedom because they don't have to serve their in-laws and other members of the family, which you will traditionally see in a joint family system. And how can have characteristics? Freedom and more independence. Okay. On the other hand, you will see it promote a lot of individualism, individual thoughts, individual ideology are promoted more in a nuclear family system, whereas in your joint family system it is about the collective responsibility, taking consideration about the feelings and emotion of each and every member of the family, right? So tomorrow joint family re kon habo? First you will have your grandparents, then you will have mother, father, or husband, wife, and the children, right? This is the typical composition of a joint family. एटा तुमको basically Asian societies रे ही बेसी देखियो को मिलबो. Okay, joint family system. And what are the other characteristics of a joint family?
Responsible of the member of the family.
Yes, then we will also have a elderly in the family, head of the family, right, who is going to take all the responsibility and duties of decision making of the family, right? How?
Different generation under the same roof.
Different generation under the same roof. Okay, you basically know what is a typical joint family is like, right? Now your family is further divided into various other categories. Okay, first is tomorrow on the basis of authority. Okay, then on the basis of your flowchart हिसाब रे कर दोचे जेंते तुमको परे देखला और को टिके इजी हबो. Okay, first on the basis of authority.
authority रे patrilineal matrilineal
matrilineal.
Location,
Then
ma'am.
we can say matrilineal भी गोटे अच्छी, right? तापरे सेटा डिस्कशन करबा, तारो सब ग्रुप्स डिस्कशन करबा. अथॉरिटी पर आउ कोन आसीबो? रेसिडेंस, तापरे तमरो बेसिस ऑफ descent and on the basis of marriage. Okay, authority रे कोन आसीला? तमरो patrilineal and matrilineal family. Patrilineal family और matrilineal family कोन?
Ma'am, in
Sorry,
patrilocal.
patriarchal family and matriarchal family. Authority.
Yes, ma'am.
patrilineal matrilly basically lead to the male member.
Patriarchal family is led by the male members, and
Male
matriarchal
member.
family is led by the woman.
Female.
Women or wife centric, we can say. Patriarchal society is the most common form of society. Matriarchal society, for example, they paribo.
I think in Manipur we have an example.
Yes, there are Manipur, Meghalaya, रे तुमको मिलेगा Garo, Khasi tribe, और पूर्व जो Nayar tribes हमें discussion करथिला. They are also example of a matriarchal family. Okay. Now basis on residence basis रे कोन हबो?
Matrilocal, patrilocal.
Matrilocal, patrilocal, ଆଉ neolocal भी तो हबो.
Neolocal, जोटा कि जो मदर फादर नुआ गोटे लोकेशन रे रहंती.
Yes, आउ evanculocal. Okay. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ matripatrilocal भी हबो.
ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଯୋଉ ଅଙ୍କଲ ଘରେ ଯାଇ ରହିବେ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଏଟା
हाँ,
କଣ?
सेटा ही जो तमरो evanculocal. Matrilocal रे after the marriage, groom will live in the bride's family. Patrilocal रे bride will live with the groom family. Neolocal रे they will shift to a new residence. Evanculocal they will live with the uncle,
sir.
mostly your maternal uncle after the marriage. And matripatrilocal, the bride and groom will live with the family of the bride until they are until the birth of their first child. Then they will move to the groom's family. This is your matripatrilocal. Okay. Now descent rasba tomorrow. Matrilineal, patrilineal, okay. Patrilineal kono, matrilineal kono, we have already discussed, right? Patrilineal to example हमें all over the world देखो चु, mostly our society rely in the patrilineal descent. Matrilineal descent for example कोन हबो?
मैम एठी गोटे एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री रे जो हमर सातवाहनस रो एग्जांपल देई परिबा से माने मैट्रिलिनियल थिला
Yes, Satavahanas. Okay. Out. ଆଉ ତମର ଗୋଟେ ମାଲାବାର ର କେତେଟା କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି ଅଛନ୍ in your south, ସେଥିରେ ବି କେତେଟା ତମକୁ matrilineal ଦେଖିବାକୁ ମିଳିବ. Okay. Now on the basis of marriage ର basis ରେ କଣ କଣ ହବ types? First stage ब तमरो monogamous and polygamous. Monogamous means consist of one husband and one wife. here we have several women, one man marries several women, or one woman marries several husband or several men, right? So polygamous ro tapre tomaro polyandrous, and then further divided into polygynous family. This you already know, we have already discussed in the forms of marriage. What is polygynous, what is polyandrous? Polyandry basis re jo marriage hetibo, that is polygynous family, and sorry, polyandry basis re jota tomar marriage hetibo, that is known as polyandrous family, and polygyny basis re jo marriage hichi tapare seda ko se family ko kaha jibo polygynous family. Okay, now our family has a lot of functions, right? तो केतेडा important function विषय आमे discussion करिबा. Characteristics देखला, types देखला, what are the functions of family?
Good role allocation.
Role allocation out टिके elaborate करो.
Role allocation, for example, economic role is carried out by the जे जो type of family तो head जे थे वो तादरा, और तापरे emotional functions will be carried out by the mother. Then मैम आउ बाकी जहाँ रहिला for example छोटो छोटो household कोर पे छुआ education and माने एई type रो जहाँ भी सब role अच्छे से गुड़ा allocate करे family निजो मध्य रे.
Okay, तो family रो ये जो role allocation conflict रो आमे आपको देखिबा ओटा topic तमरो syllabus रे भी दिया हिची about role conflict. Okay, केंदी role conflict arise होची. Okay, so first is role allocation. Starting में हमें discussion करते ना, it serves as the primary agent of socialization and social control. Out.
Satisfaction of sex needs.
Yes, it regulates and you can say sanctions and ensures sexual satisfaction.
Ma'am, it helps for the cultural transformation.
Yes, it plays a very huge role in cultural transmission from one generation to another. Out.
Procreate.
Procreate तो इटा से a point ring
Satisfaction.
Out.
Educational function भी हमें करते रहिए.
Yes, educational function, it ensures the education of the children in the family, and not only education but also financial support भी family provide करूची, right? Out.
Management of income and property.
Yes, property inheritance and economic
सेटा
other
मैम करते
economic
रहिए.
functions.
Legal claim and property. Legal claim and property.
Yes, तमर civic relations भी जहाँ ला, family plays a huge role in that, right? तो एडा तमर केतडा important function या छोड़ा भी बहुत सारे functions अच्छी, which I'll give you the notes. Everything is mentioned there. Okay. Now amaro ही गला marriage, types, characteristics, functions, family, type, characteristics, and functions. Now, other than that, we have some additional topics here in your syllabus. Janti ki changing structure of family and marriage in the modern society, divorce and its implications. Hala. ता पूर्वरु आमे टिके personality and socialization विषय आमे टिके discussion करबा. How it affects your personality and socialization related केंती हमर marriage आउटा रोगुची. Socialization bisara हम already discussion kala. Now let's discuss more about the personality aspect. What is personality? Personality माने कौन बुझुଛ?
मैम केमती गोटे यूनिक सेट ऑफ कैरेक्टर गोटे
What is personality? We all have a unique set of personality.
यूनिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक और यूनिक ट्रेट्स जोटा गोटे फैमिली को शेप करू.
So first होची गोटे individual रो personality कौन? An individual have a unique. Every individual have a unique personality, and personality means what? Your behavioral, cognitive, and emotional patterns, right? Which shapes an individual or how other people perceive us as an individual. That is our personality, right? Now, how family, first of all, family shapes the personality of an individual. Family can help coaching, because family plays a very huge role in this. How you are going to develop your personality.
Family
Your
first
personality.
gives educational support. First teacher of a children is mother. And next family provide good education, academically education to children.
Okay,
And,
educational.
personality development is like a role model. Like when we see our father doing, if he's an IPS officer, then we also feel like be an IPS officer in our future.
Absolutely. Our family and the members of this family plays a huge role as our role model, or in the terms of R.K. Morton, we can say as reference individuals, right? So from them we get inspired and we shape our values, we shape our ambitions, we shape our goals, right? तो ଆମେ ଏଟା R.K. Morton ସହିତ ଲିଙ୍କ କରିପାରିଲା and role models ରେ ତମର Weber ର ବି ଟିକେ ଆମେ ଲିଙ୍କ କରିପାରିବା ଏଟା. Okay, now ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ concept ଅଛି looking glass self. ଜାଣିଛ who has given this concept?
CS कुल्ले ଦେଇଥିଲେ ବୋଧେ.
Yes, Charles Houghton. कौन concept कौन टे कहबो?
इमेजिन करबा कि अन्य माने कोन भाबुचंती तो सेटा तांको को रिफ्लेक्ट होबाटा सेटा
मु गोटे लास्ट जतले मु लास्ट बैच रो क्लास मिथिली चार्ल्स हुटन कोली रो गोटे कोट टे कहिथिली हैला. I am not who you think I am. I am not who I think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Okay, I am not who you think I am. I am not who I think I am. I am who I think you think. Okay. ए जिनस बेसिस रे टिके किछि एग्जांपल देखि थ्योरी टा को एक्सप्लेन करिवो कि anyone wants to explain this by giving example also. तुम डे टू डे लाइफ रो गोटे एग्जांपल देखि तुम कि एक्सप्लेन करि पारिबो. चिंता करो, आई एम गिविंग यू अ मिनट. Anyone voluntarily on the basis of this quote give a real life example, okay, and explain the theory. Anyone?
Ma'am, I can explain this what exactly it means.
Okay, at least try करो जल्दी भी try करो.
तो लास्ट ये एति कहबा पे चाहूची मैम कि तमे जोटा भाबुचो माने मु सेटा माने मु जोटा अछि सेटा मु नुह कि तमे जोटा भाबुचो सेटा मु नुह तमे जोटा भाबुचो सेटा
अरे देखो ये लास्ट लाइन में कौन कही आई एम हु आई
सोसाइटी रो व्यू हिसाब रे हमें निजगु देखुछु माने सोसाइटी हमें जा सेटा हमें सेटा नुह किंतु सोसाइटी रो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू जे से हिसाब रे हमें सेटा होछु.
करेक्ट.
ओके बेसिकली कोन आमे जेंति माने परसीव करलो कि हमको सोसाइटी एंती हिसाब रे व्यू करूची से हिसाब रे आमे निजो को भी देखुछु. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आमे फैमिली रो एग्जांपल नो if my family consider me as I am very talented, I'm very hardworking, and I am a very ambitious individual, okay, then say someone perception ro reflection mo bhitere bi asibo. I will also think that okay, my mother thinks that I am very talented, my mother thinks I am very skillful, my father thinks I am very ambitious, and my brothers and sisters thinks that I am very well deserving of every kind of success in life. तो ता बेसिस रे मो कोन करियो मो निजो आइडेंटिटी मो विषय रे निजर आइडेंटिटी भी मो शेप सेंती करिवि. I will think that yes, if my family thinks in that way, I also think myself in that way. Subconsciously ऐसे जिनसोडा हबो. Yes, I am a successful person, I am very ambitious, I am very talented. Okay, से जिनसोडा मो पर्सनालिटी रे रिफ्लेक्ट करिवो. Now on the other way, जदि मो देखिबे कि मो फैमिली एंती चिंता करछि कि दैट आई एम अ लूजर, आई एम अ फेलियर, से जिनसटा मु इंटरनलाइज करबी. अरे सब बडे मो फैमिली मते कहउछन्ती दैट तू फेली जिवो, तो द्वारा पाठ होउनी, तो भल से पढुनु, then that will also reflect in my personality. I will start behaving like a loser, right? I will think I am a loser. Yes or no? Seta hochi ki nahi? Which is why it is said that when you are bringing up a child, especially a toddler, keep praising him even for the smallest of thing he or she does. So se jinsota kono se repeatedly se sunibo, dekhibo that my family is praising me, that I am worthy enough to receive that praise. That means I am a good person, I am a worthy person, and that thing will reflect in my personality. Basically that is what your looking glass self is trying to summarize. Eta mu tomo eti dekhochi. ता बेसिस रे तमे कोन होबो, तमे से बेसिस रे तमे you will start acting like that or behaving like that, or you will perceive or create an identity on that basis about yourself. Eta dekho, this is how my mom and dad see me, as an angel. I'm like an angel, the most innocent and a loving kid. This is my girlfriend or my boyfriend sees me. This is how my brother sees me, how my ex-girlfriend sees me. So senti basis रे तमे गोटे perception form होची. आ तमे सेंती react करबाटा start करियो, behave करबाटा start करियो, how you think you are being perceived according to that. बुझिलो?
मैम एटा सेम ना से सेल्फ फुलफिलिंग प्रोफेसी जोटा थिला.
ता सहित टिके रिलेट करि परिबा. जेंति कि सेल्फ फुलफिलिंग प्रोफेसी कोन कहउथिला कि तमे रिपीटेडली जदि गुटे जिंसो कहिबो that I am the best, I am the best, I am the best, you will do that on the basis of an assumption. Assumption in the sense 99.9% chances is that whatever you are thinking is incorrect or doesn't exist in reality. Okay, जेंति मु गोटे क्लास रे एग्जांपल दे देथिली कि I am an district magistrate now. You will think like that, but actually you are not. But you keep repeating that thing over and over again. Then what will happen? You will start to act like that, act in a way that a DM acts, or behave in a way that a district magistrate behave. And ultimately what will happen? You will actually become a DM. You are manifesting that basically. So seta ko kon hala self-fulfilling prophecy, basis on an unreal assumption or an incorrect assumption. You keep repeating that over and over again. Subconsciously kon hi jauchi se jinso ko tame tama life re in reality manifest karucho, right? तो एटा टिके लुकिंग ग्लास सेल्फ रे सोसाइटी रो इन्फ्लुएंस विषय रे बेसी अछि. सेल्फ फुलफिलिंग prophecy it is both micro perspective and macro level re hela micro macro ro duita influence rohuchi whereas your looking glass self re tike society ro influence basically ethi tamara dekhiba ku milebo. Okay, so this is about your you know how family plays a huge role about how we perceive us or how we perceive or formulate an identity about us, right? tapare ame identity he gala. Now how our family system and marriage system has changed over the years. Modern marriage and family. How the family structure and marriage structure has changed over the period. First, I'm start kariwa from the family. Family structure can be changed.
Size of the family.
First, the size of the family. We will see more of a nuclear family system.
Extended family got converted into a nuclear family.
Nuclear family.
How?
Second, mostly nowadays they are neo-local.
Yes, mostly neo-local. In order to, we can say it is like correlated. We want nuclear family, then we have to be neo-local in our approach. And if we are neo-local, then ultimately our family will also become a nuclear family. Right? So this is an interlinked system, we can say, process. How?
Next, decline of the patriarchal authority. Patriarchal authority changes.
Yes, decline. It is, we can say, mostly bilateral now.
Bilateral.
Then decline in the influence of the family on an individual. Yes or no? Our kichi bhi hame koru about our personal level as well, whether it comes to career, whether it comes to partner selection, whatever it is, even the smallest of the steps that we take in our life, our family has a huge influence on that. And whatever our family says, on the basis of that, we used to do it. So decline in the influence of family on individuals. Why? Because the modern society promotes more individualism. Okay.
Ma'am,
How?
your family. Families have become now child-centric.
Yes. Families are becoming more child-centric because already we have a nuclear family. Our good family decisions mostly child wants, needs bisare se hisab re semane sedaku no chanti. If a child needs to live in a huge space, they will take a loan and go there even if it is out of their range of their affordability, right? So whatever the child needs, that is going to happen, right? That is again a very a factor that also lead to individualism. If a child from the very beginning, since his birth, everything has been done according to his or herself. Tango family, tango hisabe ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତା ଭିତରେ କଣ ଗୋଟେ individualistic ideology ବି install ହେବ that ଏବେ ଯାଏ ସବୁ ତ ମୋ ହିସାବରେ ହଉଛି, ଆଗକୁ ବି ମୋ ହିସାବରେ ହିଁ ହେବ, my ideology matters most, right? So ସେଟା ବି ଗୋଟେ କହିପାରିବା that also a factor that leads to individualism or promotes individualism. How?
Single parent family.
Yes, single parents, live-in relationships,
cohabitation.
तापरे हिजबो तमरो co-parenting. Agically, with or without marriage, people are having children, and if they are divorced, then they are still co-parenting. Or if they were in the live-in relationship and they are now separated, but they have a kid, they're still co-parenting the kid. okay, or the children. So seta hijibo au
changing role of women. Women का role मध्य change होची.
Yes,
Family.
changing in the now more and more women are financially independent
Due to
They want to
the
be-
industrialization.
More and more women are financially independent, so they are taking the traditionally the role which was
Cooking
kept
food.
or assigned to the male of the family. Now it is also equally shared by both men and women. Yes or no? Equally shared by both men and women. Now all the burdens of the financial and economic support that only the men had to bear, now men and women are sharing that equally. Got it? Au kona habo? एठिरे तमरो religion aspect or cultural aspect आसबो. Religion aspect or cultural aspect is nowadays you will see more of a exogamous kind of marriages and interfaith marriages, intercaste marriages. So the role of religion and culture is somewhat diluted in today's family system. Our religion or culture ro bahut hi heavy influence rohutila. The members of the family will strictly abide with the religious practices and belief system, right? Cultural practices and beliefs, norms and values. Now it has been diluted in the modern society. Yes or no? तो सेथिरे कोन होची आमर जो religion and culture ta, traditional religion and culture is getting sidelined, due to which you will see a very minimal transmission or transfer of religious and cultural values, norms, beliefs and practices, right? Got it? तो याद हो रहा भी एंती जिनसों माने सबू होची, right? So this is family related. आमे कितना important points इधर discussion करूँ. Now coming to marriage. What about marriage?
Ma'am, it's now more commercial than ritual.
Yes, it is more like a commercial. तमे देखो big fat wedding सर को जो तो.
Again, ma'am. Again, ma'am.
So how much show off you are able to do? Maybe you will splurge like 1 crore. आजकल तो 6 crore, 100 crores तक भी wedding budget पड़ो ची. You will splurge that much in your wedding, but there are in present situation, if you see 90% chances that your marriage is going to work. After a year or two, most of the people are getting divorced. All my seniors who are like senior than 3-4 years seniors than me, they got married, and within a couple of years now they are divorced as well. Both जन के cases देखो ची more around ला से मने बहुत ही large scale wedding ते करिवे. There is so much pre-wedding photo shoot and what not. Not that I am scrutinizing that or saying that is anything bad. If they want to do, they can definitely do that if they are able to do it. But जोड़ा main जिनसो marriage, sustenance of the marriage is now being questionable because of the increasing divorce rate in the present day society. सेटा domestic violence लगे हो या फिर clash in the ideology and mindset or incompatibility with among the partners. जहाँ भी हला, we are seeing the increasing. It is more of a commercial, or we can say social contract now. Social contract we can say it is just a contract rather than what earlier it used to be a sacred bond, which in Hinduism specifically, if you are getting married, then you are taking a pledge that you will be in a bond for the next 7 lifetimes, right?
7 1.
हाँ तुम 7 जन्म ପାଇଁ ତମେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ରହିବ ବୋଲି ତମର ଏମିତି rituals କରା ଯାଉଛି, but it is not working that way in present day society due to increased divorce rate. Out ଟିକେ ଚିନ୍ତା करतो, give me a minute, let me take a call, okay? Give me a minute, sorry. Okay, so हाँ changes विषय कहाँ
मैम आजिकल गोटे सेम सेक्स मैरिज विषय
हाँ सेम सेक्स रिलेशनशिप लीगलाइज्ड ହେଇଛି but marriage type ଯାଇ लीगलाइज ହେଇନି, right? सेम सेक्स मैरिज को गुटे कंट्री रे ହେଇଛି, ता ना ଟିକେ ମନେ ପଡୁନି ରହ।
मैम थाईलैंड रे ହେଇଛି, नेपाल काइंड ऑफ अच्छी जुरिस्डिक्शन पास କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ତାପରେ ଏଷ୍ଟୋନିଆ ରେ ହେଇଛି।
इस्टोनिया, हाँ इस्टोनिया, थाईलैंड, इस्टोनिया एट्रे एबे सेम सेक्स मैरिजेस लीगलाइज्ड। इंडिया रे एबे जाई लीगलाइज्ड ହେଇନି। कैन यू से व्हाई? सेम सेक्स रिलेशन is legalized in India, okay, but not marriage. एबे भी माने पिटिशन କରିଥିଲେ in Supreme Court, but still Supreme Court declined it in the recent verdict, right? So why not same sex marriage? Can anyone tell? Can anyone tell why in India same-sex marriage is not legalized but relation is legalized?
because maybe ଏଇଥିରେ procreation ହିଁ ହେଇପାରିବନି ସେ ଯୋଉ
हाँ procreation तो ही पारिबनी but adoption तो करि पारिबो।
मैम adoption rule ले भी अछि ना कि एमाने करि परिबेनी, जो एबे जो नुआ
हाँ।
recent adoption rule थिला तो ए सेम सेक्स लोक तो करि परिबेनी, जो माने गे कपल किबा ये हेले, किंतु से माने करि परिबेनी adoption।
तो सेदिरे देखो एपे कोन हला हम इंडियन सोसाइटी रे रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस एंती अछि woman can adopt but a man cannot same sex couple जंती तमे कहलो they cannot adopt right तापरे तमरो inheritance adoption भी हमें एठी include करिबा okay then property rights then marriage acts we have to form a separate marriage act itself and there are a lot of things that we need to consider take into consideration before actually legalizing it because the marriage acts or the marriage rules in India are very complicated and it is only for the male and female gender specific जोड़ा हमारा socially accepted genders जोड़ा socially recognized genders which are men and women biologically यहाँ सेटा तो अलगा concept ही बना sex basis रे सेटा अलगा concept ही बना but male and female या फिर men and women basis रे जोड़ा हमारा rules and regulation formulate करा जायची it cannot be implicated in a same sex marriage we need to have to formulate an act based on that and it is all dependent upon the legislature there is so much thing that needs to be considered before actually legalizing it so the taking into consideration the complex provisions that we have in India and all the civil rights property rights economic financial inheritance adoption ये सब जिनसो को बेस करके जदि हमें देखिबा legalizing the same sex marriage can be very complicated because proper rules and regulations are not set up for it got it so eta hola same sex marriage related now today in today's date we can see there is decline in fertility rate okay decline in fertility rate on the top of it many married couples okay many married couples they do not want children can you say why
Because children are seen as a burden, economic burden for the
yes
family.
because in the present economic era that we are living in everything is extremely expensive affordability comes into question especially if you're living in a metropolitan cities like Mumbai Bangalore a small room 1 BHK cost you like rent around 30 to 40,000 per month and on the top of it if you are trying to upbring or rear a child it is an extra economic and financial burden that you are taking which is why most of the people they prefer not to have children on the other hand if you have children there will be no independence freedom टिके मिली बनी आजिकली freedom रो concept बहुत ही basic consider करा जाए if we get children then our freedom will be limited right आमे बेसी बाहर को जाई परिवानी travel करी परिवानी से जिन सब गुड पळा आछी right आउ मैरिज रो कोन हेबो present day situation
increase love marriage
yes ago joda influence ro thila family ro in marriage or mate selection that is mostly arranged marriage now it is all about your selection of your mate or your partner based on your individual needs okay or individual standards right तो तमरा से जिनसो तमरा लव मैरिज परे भी तमरा आउट हे जाउची decline in marriage age of marriage or we can say late marriage आजकल तुमको बेसी देखिया को मिलबो because both men and women are more focused on their careers and financial independence they give that more priority than getting married once they feel that they are stable, then only they think about the matter of marriage. Mostly they are preferring now live-in relationship, but there is no such commitment. We can say it is also due to lack of commitment issues भी जाको होची. They will prefer live-in marriage more over your ritualistic marriage that we have. Live-in situation बेसी prefer करूचंती, right? Late marriages बेसी होची because of more priority to career and also decline in marriage rate. Because now you have the option of a live-in relationship, more and more people are not wanting to commit in a full-fledged marriage, right? And आजकल कौन होची due to more individualistic ideologies.
Sologamy.
Yes, sologamy, and also yes, sologamy भी तुम कोई पारिबो. Sologamy कोथरे गुटे हेतला ना मझरे न्यूज़ आइसला कोन.
Yes ma'am, गोटे झियोटा.
झियोटा को जागा हेतला इंडिया रो.
Maybe Gujarat ma'am.
गुजरात राजस्थान की कोथरे गुटे हेतला. ओके, ठीक मते मने पडनी. But sologamy देखिबा को मिलुची, which is very unlikely thing. And also increase in divorce and remarriages. Ago divorce or remarriage को as a taboo consider करा जाता है. People will look down upon you if you are a divorcee. Okay, but now it is very normalized. जंती को कोई बहुत जो मोर seniors को देखुची, after they get married within a year or two they are getting divorced. एबे तमे जदि देखिबो, they are mostly 28, 29, 30 around, which we can consider young. तो पूरा life तांको आगर अछि. तो वे डाइवोर्स ही जाई जंती ता थ्रू तमे तांको गुडे एंती अंडरमाइन करबाटा स्टार्ट कर दबो, then their life is over. Are they not deserving enough to get another companion because their first marriage failed? No, right? तो आजकल से रीमैरिज को भी बहुत ही माने गुटे टैबू हिसाब रे नो नांती लोक. बहुत जन डाइवोर्स ही के आउथरे रीमैरिज करचंती, and people are not even questioning a lot. They are taking it very normally. They are normalize ही जाई छे बे सोसाइटी रे.
मैम मोर गोटे फ्रेंड गोटे आथर प्रिलिम टाइम रे मैरिज करथला. वर्तमान ता वाइफ आलिमनी मागिलानी.
हां सेटा एबे से
आर वर्ष
आलिमनी रिलेटेड हमें डिस्कशन करबा. यस, हां कोन कहथलो.
मोर गोटे फ्रेंड ता आर वर्ष प्रिलिम टाइम रे मैरिज करथला. वर्तमान ता वाइफ आलिमनी मागिले.
यस, सेडा भी देखु छ एलिमनी केस. आजिकली जोड़ा आगो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस एंती फॉर्मुलेट करा जायतला टू सेफगार्ड द वुमेन, बिकॉज़ वुमेन को आगरो बहुत प्रॉब्लम फेस करबा को पड़तला. वुमेन सुसाइड एंड आल्सो मर्डर वाज हैपनिंग ड्यू टू डाउरी केसेस एंड व्हाट नॉट, राइट? तो से जिंस को सिविल राइट्स तांकर सेफगार्ड करबा पई प्रोविजंस करा गला. नाउ वुमेन आर, वी कैन से, आर मिसयूजिंग दैट, व्हिच इज वेरी डिसअपॉइंटिंग. ता पई जोड़ा एक्चुअल केसेस होची, people are taking it very lightly. Okay, ताको जनरलाइज कर दोचंती कि आजकल वुमेन माने सब एलिमनी मागिबे, मिसयूज करिबे तांगल राइट्स को. आउ से जिंस कोन होची उटे आउटे नेगेटिव इन्फ्लुएंस क्रिएट करूची इन द सोसाइटी, राइट? तो एबे रिलेटेड टू दैट डाइवोर्स एंड इट्स इम्प्लिकेशन. डाइवोर्स माने कोन हो तमे जदी कहबो, व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय डाइवोर्स?
breakdown of marriage.
Break in marriage.
Breakdown.
Right? Breakdown of your marriage, where your marriage is getting, we can say, legal dissolution of your marriage. That is known as your divorce and its implications. जितना मैं divorce कर दूँ, it is legally done, right? Legal dissolution of marriage. तो एबे तार implication कोन रोची, impact ता कोन रोची? What is the impact if two people are getting divorced?
मैम गोटे तो साइकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट ऑन चाइल्ड आसीबो गोटे पॉइंट आ भीतर.
फर्स्ट तो देखो तमरो जो कपल जोडा डिसइंटीग्रेट हो जंती तांकर मैरिज रे डिसइंटीग्रेट होची जदी, there will be emotional and psychological implications on the couples, right? Your families are also disintegrating. It is also going to affect not only couples, also their families. But if you have a children, child को सबले एटी सबसाइड कर दिया जाउची केतळे फीमेल एलिमनी मागुची केतळे मेल ता ताकू किछि उडे अलगा जिंस पई हस्बैंड ता किछि अलगा जिंस पई चार्ज कर दोची ए दो जन को माने हस्बैंड वाइफ रो क्लैश भितरे तमरो चिल्ड्रन सबु से माने माडो खाइ जाउचंती. You are not taking consideration of their children. You won't even realize how traumatic of an experience it is for a child to see their parents getting separated, and it has serious complications on the mental conditions of the child. You will see an anxiety, attachment issues, trust issues. Okay,
impact on family.
Yes, family upre भी effect होची. Emotional तांकर emotional state upre भी हेटा effect कर जाउची. Right? Children face a very huge consequences of the divorce. ताथिरे भी तांकर जो custody case है गला. सेथिरे तो आउडे से legal procedure is very tedious for the child. Whether it is he or she, the children are grown up or not, doesn't matter. If your parents are getting separated, it is a huge traumatic experience in itself only. Okay, a worst case scenario for any child in their life, right? Our divorce implication of kono alimony, financial aspect of jo dekhiba, we can say your misuse of financial and alimony matters. जोड़ा तुम्हारा अतुल सुभाष केस रे तुम देखुजो मोस्टली हमारा लॉ एंती फॉर्मुलेट करा जायची that will favor the woman more over the man. Now it is not the fault of the woman here that the law is a little biased, because we have seen conventionally and historically how women was being suppressed. So law are formulated in that way that it will consider or take into consideration women more than the men. But when we have serious cases like the Atul Subhas case and more, which are not highlighted in India today, here the justice is being unfair, right? Recently, related news I still have that the family of the wife of Atul Subhas, they are getting bail now. Tamko bail mil gala within a month. So you can see, even though his tragedy death, after his tragedy death, the justice system is so complicated that divorce is leading to such a negative consequences effect on the men for whom the legal system is a little less considerate as compared to the woman here. And forget about their child. Their child will experience an altogether traumatic experience after he grows up. Yes or no? Alimony matter ko joda misuse kara jauchi, that is also a huge problem in today's society. That is why women are being downgraded again. Women ko last women ही downgraded हो चुकी because of women themselves. Because these laws were created to help and safeguard the women's rights. Now women are misusing them. Some women are misusing them. The whole women community is facing the consequences of it now. Yes. So any more thing that you want to include?
Ma'am, creates a social stigma for both male and female too. Like माने थोड़े जे divorced हो जायची तो ताकू ने की society रा नजरिया change हो जाए, whether she is a woman or a male.
Yes. No doubt टिके normalize होची, but at society at large देखिवा people who are divorcee are still stigmatized. तांको बहुत ostracization हुए, बहुत judgment तांको face करबा पड़े. You say how much normalized it is or not, but at large तमे देखिबो a taboo type of, or we can say judgment related to the divorce is still existing all over the world. Okay, every society, right?
Recently, गोटे सिनारियो देखिथिली मैम कि there is a photo shoot for divorce now.
Photo shoot for divorce.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
that is
ma'am,
new
I
one.
have also gone through that thing. Yes, ma'am, I have also seen that.
Yeah, because आजकल कौन हो जाइए, until and unless you don't have a photograph or you don't post about something, it doesn't really happen. जदि ता विषय किसी पोस्ट है नहीं कि से जिनसर फोटोग्राफ माने नहीं, then it means it has not happened. तो गुटे जिनस पोस्ट करिवो बोले सेटा हेची करिनो माने सेटा हेनी माने सुपरफिशियली मु कहूची
एटा सोशली प्रूफ पई आ
सब सोसाइटी माने यू नो शो ऑफ कल्चर आजकल डाइवर्सिटी करचंती बोली मु जान नथिली. ओके, न्यू थिंग दैट आई लर्नड, हाउ क्रेजी पीपल आर गोइंग. तो एटरे तमरो apart from this, as we discussed, parental alienation भी ए जोटा तमरो children's मन ग्रुप रे parental alienation भी पढ़ा आसीबो concept, stigmatization तापरे parental alienation because of the tedious we can say legal processes that includes during the divorce process. The parental alienation होची, children माने sideline ही जाउछंती because of this divorce conflict. तबरे lengthy legal battles ही जीवो, lengthy and tedious legal battles, right? So this is the implications, what is divorce and the implication on the you know couples, their children and their family and society at large. Okay, last तमरो गुटे टॉपिक रह जाइए, that is role conflict. Okay, a short topic. What is role conflict?
Ma'am, when there is a change in the roles, like which was earlier predefined, कि एटा ये करिवो सेटा से करू, सेटा जेतरो with the influx of modernization and education which is changing with the time, तो सेई जगो role conflict आसुची मैम.
So basically, due to the change in this role assignments that we had traditionally, it is arising what? Conflict, which is dilemma situation. When an individual faces a conflicting situation or a dilemma in the demands and expectations from the different role that they have, right? Personally, socially, professionally, जहाँ भी रोजी, personal, social, professional, जितने से role fulfillment कला बड़को तंको dilemma situation देखिवा को मिलेगा, या फिर there will be a conflict between all these roles. It arises role conflict. Now, what are the types of role conflict? Types of role conflict कौन आसीबो? First आसीबो तमरो inter role conflict.
इंटर
inter गोटे intra role conflict. Inter माने कौन? Inter role conflict example. Example लीजिए गोटे working parent, for example a working mother, she have some professional commitments, some social commitments and some personal or family commitments, right? Now in order to balance her social life, personal life, family life, all the demands and expectations that the society have or from her, in order to balance it, it really gets confusing and dilemmatic for her. Yes or no? तो सेटर कोन होची तंकर रोल क्लैश होची रोल क्लैश between different role expectations from an individual. Then the intra mane kono contradiction in the when it exists in a single role. जेंति कि तमे गुटे कंपनी रो अछो you are a manager of that company and as a manager you are asked to follow strictly all the rules and regulations or company policies, but at the same time you are asked that you need to be very friendly with your subordinates in the same role tomorrow managerial role re set out a conflict create kala ki nahi. You have to be strict at the same time you have to be very friendly with your subordinates. It is a very ironical situation in itself. Hello. तापरे आसबो तमरो इंटर ही गला इंट्रा ही गला आउट पर्सनल रोल पर्सनल और पर्सन रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट पर्सन रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट कोन होची पर्सनल रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट माने एबे देखो तमे जे जो प्रोफेशन रे गुटे थिबो तारो केतरा रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन अछि तमरो एज एन इंडिविजुअल केतरा तमरो फंडामेंटल rules and regulation अछि कि मु एज एन इंडिविजुअल आई विल नेवर डू थिंग्स लाइक दिस और आई विल डू थिंग्स लाइक दिस ओनली. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर ए जर्नलिस्ट तमरो जर्नलिस्ट प्रोफेशन कहूची कि तुमको टिके कंट्रोवर्शियल जिंसो को कवर करबा को पड़ेबो और आउट ऑफ नोवेयर यू हैव टू मेक थिंग्स कंट्रोवर्शियल सो दैट इट विल increase the TRP of your channel. But as in a professional personal level that is against your personal ethics, we can say tomar personal ethics ra against seta jauchi. You don't want sensitive matters to be controversial, but your journalistic profession demands that from you. There is the personal role conflict. Last asibo tomaro role overload. Role overload mane kono when you know you are overwhelmed by the number of roles that you have to fulfill and their expectations and the role expectation from that role. Jenti ki tomaro example de paribo role overload ro anyone. As an individual in the society you have multiple roles and expectation related to that roles that you have to fulfill, which creates a overwhelming experience or overwhelming effect on you. Can you tell me what is that? Example of that. Example.
Ma'am, can you give an example of mother?
Example of
Mother.
Elaborate karo ठीक से जिंसा.
Ma'am, I'm a bit confused between inter role and this role over there. So mother will be a best example of here also. So let me explain. As a mother, she is taking, like, she is a daughter of someone, she is a sister of someone, she is a mother, she is a working profession, she is a wife of someone, and she is taking care of all the roles and responsibility correctly, and she is a daughter-in-law.
But again, this obviously what is happening एबे जो तुमर इंटर रोल जंदी कलो तुमको कंफ्यूजन होची. इंटर रोल रे कोन होची से रोल भितरे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट अराइज होची. Okay. But due to this conflict, when it is creating pressure on that individual, it is creating pressure, extreme pressure on the individual. The individual gets overwhelmed by the pressure from the roles and the expectation from the role to fulfill that role expectations. That is when it comes your role overload. Role overload basically तमरो रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रे जेतला कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रे ही सीमित रहउनी बट इट इज क्रिएटिंग प्रेशर when it creates a pressure in the individual, overwhelms the individual, that is your role overload. Okay, एबे तुम मदर एग्जांपल ले लो से जहां भी तुमको रोल फुलफिल कला बेलकू it is taking a tax on her mental health, on her physical health. She is developing hypertension now because of her so many roles and work that she has to fulfill. What is happening here? She is getting overwhelmed. That is your role overload. बुझलो जंती की मदर परे आउ कोन बेस्ट एग्जांपल
मैम
स्टूडेंट
डीएम है फिर डीएम ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट
हां डीएम ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट बहुत एग्जांपल जो थ्री भी तुम्हारा रोल एक्सपेक्टेशंस बेसिकली तुम्हारा रोल एक्सपेक्टेशन और जो रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इज गेटिंग or exerting pressure on you, okay, that which is having an impact on your emotional, mental and physical health. That is your role overload. तमे तमे role conflict पाई overwhelm ही जाउछो जंदगी आमे गोटे स्टूडेंट रो एग्जांपल नउछु एस्पिरेंट रो भी एग्जांपल सिविल सर्वेंट एस्पिरेंट हला नीट एस्पिरेंट हले जेई एस्पिरेंट हले as an aspirant or as a student you have to manage your academic pressure. And if you are an aspirant, you have a job as well. So nahi tome bilkul job karono, you have a job, whether it is part time or whether is it full time hele to extra pressure hala. Tapre tomar gote social commitment bhi to achi, tomo personal keteda jinso bhi tomku karibar achi. You have your personal desires that you want to fulfill, you want to travel, but due to all these things that you have to fulfill, it is also creating a pressure or not? Pressure on you, and you are getting overwhelmed as a result. And this overwhelming due to the role conflict rise or lead to role overload. Got it? Bijla?
हम जो पर्सनल रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट अपन जर्नलिस्ट टा कहले हेटे आउथरे बुझे परिबे
Personal conflict as in tomorrow gote professional life rochi, that if you are a journalist tomor professional life re tomoro ketera demands rochi, as a person you have some of your ethics, tomor kichi ethics te rochi, tomoro journalism ro profession तुमको demand करुचे that you make things controversial, even the sensitive things controversial, so that it will increase the TRP of your channel. Okay, so you are no doubt, if you are making the things controversial or if you are giving a controversial news, it is fulfilling the demand of your professional life, but as a person you have some personal ethics. तुमको personal ethics रोचे कि नहीं से जिनसटा को सेडा वायोलेट करूची, you are making sensitive issues controversial. For example, controversy related to child marriage ही वाला जो धरो से child marriage रो जो किछि गोटे जा केस हे चिंती ताको तमे controversial कर दोछो, एबे से controversy create कलो ता थ्रू तमरो कोन हला तम TRP increase हला तम चैनल रो, तमे तम प्रोफेशनल वैल्यूज को अबाइड कलो, किंतु तुम personally you think that this is very sensitive and making it controversial and scrutinizing it is something very, we can say, degrading or not ethical. So role conflict is arising in here. Bujhilo?
Yes ma'am, thank you.
So this is all about your role conflict. Now causes re kon habo? When you have, we can say causes re aibo tomorrow competing responsibilities. Simultaneously जेतले तुमको बहुत जे रोल्स रे डिमांड फुलफिल करिवार अछि पर्सनल लेवल रे प्रोफेशनल लेवल रे, तो सेठी कोन हला तुम रोल्स भितरे गुटे competing responsibility in the sense कहा को तुम आगो प्रायोरिटी दबो, that makes you a little confused in that, or makes you know, you come into a dilemma situation whether I should take care of my child or should go for a meeting or should fulfill my personal desires, that if I am unwell, should I take care of myself or should I take care of my child or should I go for my meeting? से जिनसर कौन हला तुम रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी काहू प्रायोरिटी दबा आगो से जिनसर गोटे डिलेमा क्रिएट हो जाउची, राइट? देन स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द क्लास रे जने कहिथिले अनक्लियर रोल एक्सपेक्टेशंस, जो ट्रेडिशनल रोल्स amara assigned kara jaichi over the period of time when it gets changed, and where there is unclear role expectation, it tries to role conflict. Then role conflict रे तमरो cultural and social expectation भी रोची जा थ्रू ए role conflict ता create होची. Okay, जंती कि for a woman society says or your culturally it is believed that women should prioritize their family and the household work more than themselves and their personal goals and ambitions. But as a woman, as an individual, you have your personal desires, you have your personal goals. Now your personal goals and desires and the social cultural expectation is conflicting here, yes or no? So taro bhi implication roji in your role conflict. Got it? Now causes पर consequence कौन है जो तारो? What are the consequences of role conflict? Consequences कौन है वो? Obviously stress and burnout. Right? You will feel exhausted by juggling from one role to another, fulfilling the needs from one role to another. That will cause a stress, a lot of stress. How कौन include कर पारे बैठी?
Low efficiency in different roles.
Low efficiency. कौन को authority repeat करो तो?
मैम लो एफिशिएंसी इन डिफरेंट रोल्स माने फॉर एग्जांपल मु एबे दीटा रोल करूचे तो गोटे रोल रे मु पूरा 100% दे पारुने टू कंपेंसेट द अदर रोल माने फॉर एग्जांपल एज ए फादर तार दीटा काम अछि गोटे हला कि हमर इकोनॉमिक को तार संभालिबो आ गोटे लगी तार चाइल्ड को से केयर नबो तो से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आसले से दीटा को ठीक से करि नै परबार तो एफिशिएंसी कम हो.
यस तो बहुत मल्टीपल रोल्स कला बळको तुम जदि गुटे को प्रायोरिटाइज करबा बेले आ गुटे जगह रे कंप्रोमाइज हो जाउची आ जदि आ गुटे जगह रे प्रायोरिटाइज करबा बेले another role get compromised, so there is a problem of compromisation if you prioritize one role over the another, right? तो एठी तमरो से competing responsibility भी पळे आउची, right? Yes, सेटा भी हबो आउ that is creating what is strain in your relationship. When you don't set your priorities, when there is conflicting situation, when it comes to setting your priorities, जेंति तमे कहलो केतरा जगह रे जदि फुलफिल होची केतरा जगह रे compromisation भी ही जाउची, right? It is compromising also at some point, so that will lead to creating strain in your relationship. If you give more priority to your work, then your family will get compromised and sidelined. तो family सहित टिके relation टिके तमरो ऊंचा नीचा हे जो, right? टिके हमको टाइम दउ नांती सब बड़े काम करि रहु जंती, right? आ जदि तमे सब बड़े family को बेसी priority दबो then तमरो work life रे सेटा problem हे जो. तो work life balance को hinder होची, right? It hinders the work life balance. All right, this is all about your role conflict. Taro causes, types and consequences. तो एटा गला तमर मैरिज एंड फैमिली. मैरिज एंड फैमिली रे जंती मु कहली केंती बहुत ही डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस आसे तो मैरिज एंड फैमिली रू बोथ पेपर 1 एंड पेपर 2 रू तमरो एनालिटिकल क्वेश्चन एंड एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन तुमको बेसी देखिबा को मिलबो. जंती कि या रिलेटेड जदि आसला Analyze the impact of globalization on marriage and family structures in Indian society. Okay. Model questions ketada kochi. Okay. Analyze the impact of how you will frame your answer. How you will frame your answer? First, traditional family and marriage system in India kenti rohuchi tome tiki seta explain kar debo. In some first traditional marriage system kenti mostly endogamous in nature, right? Tomorrow kon habo family structure re joint family structure and priority of family members more than the individual. Family has a lot of influence in both the personal level and professional level as well. तो जहाँ भी तुम्हारा एबे जाए हमें डिस्कशन करते हैं, as a typical traditional family or marriage system Indian society रो केंती रोचे सेटा टिके तमे दे दबो brief out. Okay, briefly about your marriage and family of traditional Indian society. Okay, सेटा देई सारला परे तमरो ग्लोबलाइजेशन रो कोन हला. ग्लोबलाइजेशन थ्रू रो कोन होची क्रॉस कल्चरल एक्सचेंज होची, राइट? So due to globalization we are open to new ideologies, new beliefs, and somewhere and somewhat we try to internalize it. And due to this, over a period of time, how marriage and family structure in India is changing. Mostly it is urban India bisare example de debo, right? Earlier marriage was endogamous, now it is more exogamous. There is concept of same-sex relationship, live-in relationship now, increase in divorce rate, normalization of remarriage. Then family structure re people prefer more nuclear family and neo-local family, neo-local marriages we can say, right? Now ketana example, बहुत example अछि related to this. तापरे संति तमे आउ भी questions तमरे ही पारिबो जंति कि how feminist movement influenced the institution of marriage or institution of family in India. Due to feminist movement, more and more women empowerment is happening, more awareness is spreading in the society. Women are now more career oriented and very ambitious. They give priority to their own personal choices and career over the institution of marriage and family, which typically ago tanko role assigned thila limited to only household works. Now they have come out of their kitchens and the four walls of the house, and they are exploring endless possibilities and opportunities provided to them, whether it is in the political aspect, economical aspect, or socio-cultural aspect, right? Discuss the implication of live-in relationship hela or same-sex marriage hela. And we can also say तुमको कोई impact को analyze करो, analyze the impact of it on the traditional family structure, right? तो ए जिंस एंती टाइप रो क्वेश्चन तुमको बेसिकली आइबो मोस्टली एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड एंड एनालिटिकल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन जोटा कि तुम बहुत इजीली आई फील यू कैन इजीली डू दैट, right? Because these are the things that happen in your day-to-day life. You get a lot of examples related to it and you can easily write, and it is also very helpful for your essay paper. Essay paper रे भी तमे सब जिंस को इंक्लूड कर पारबो जहां भी तमे एटा पढु छ सोशियोलॉजी रे. Got it? So these are some of the questions, model questions जोड़ा की तमरो diverse implication, what is the implication of increasing diverse rate on children and society, something type of question hai wo, very analytical based and very practical based questions. Okay, so this is it for marriage and family. Any doubts? कुछ doubt वाला?
जो पूर्व क्लास रे अपन मोबिलिटी रो से नोट्स टा टी प्रोवाइड करते पीडीएफ.
अच्छा मु नोट्स तो सेंड करथली जाइनी कि तुमनको? I have sent the notes. तुम ग्रुप रे पठेली ना को ग्रुप रे पठेली छु मैं सब एत कोडा ग्रुप हे जेछि तो कंफ्यूजन. अच्छा मोर नेट ता टिके इशू थिला मे बी सेति लई जाय माने एठी एरर देखौची आ थोड़े सेंड कर देबी हला.
थैंक यू मैम.
मैं सेंड कर देबी. मोर नेट इशू रह जाउ छी ना घरे बिल्कुल नेट चलुनी हम से एरिया रे बे सब से प्रोग्राम ता चल छी बोली. आउ काउ किछ डाउट? आज क्लास रो नोट आउ सोशल मोबिलिटी रो नोट दुटा जको मैं सेंड कर देबी हला. एनी मोर डाउट्स? मैरिज एंड फैमिली क्लियर हला तो रोल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तापरे चेंजेस इन द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ फैमिली एंड मैरिज इन द मॉडर्न सोसाइटी आउ केंती टाइप रो क्वेश्चन आसीबो टिके आईडिया हे गला. आ कोन लेखिबो तुमको टिके आईडिया हेतिबो, राइट? मु केतना मॉडल क्वेश्चन देछि आ तमे टिके पीवाईक्यूज देखिबो यू विल सी वेरी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम देयर. ओके, वेरी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम दिस टॉपिक व्हिच यू कैन इजीली अटेम्प्ट. Okay, all you have to do is to make a pattern or blueprint you केंते तमे क्वेश्चन को अप्रोच करिवो so that it can be more presentable by giving some personal anecdotes as well as current affairs ताको भी टिके रिलेट करके तमे लिखि परिवो. और खाली इंडियन सोसाइटी को नहीं बाकी सब सोसाइटी रो भी टिके एक्सप्लोर करिवो हला.
मैम जो ए सब कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस इंपैक्ट ए क्वेश्चन रे किछि थिंकर कर किछि लेखा बनी पर्सपेक्टिव
थिंकर्स रो जोठी तमे ऐड करि परिबो सेठी लिखिबो हला. जेंथि कि हमें लुकिंग ग्लास सेल्फ को नेला और तापर रोल मॉडल से कांसेप्ट तमे एटा ऐड करि परिबो जेंथि कि इंपैक्ट ऑफ फैमिली ऑन द personality development of a child. जदि हंती टाइप रो एनालाइज द इंपैक्ट ऑफ फैमिली ऑन द पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ए चाइल्ड सेंती आला तुम रोल मॉडल विषय लिखि पारिबो. एंड यू कैन आल्सो गिव जंती मु कहली आरके मटन रो रेफरेंस इंडिविजुअल्स विषय लिखि पारिबो. ओके, तापरे हमें जोडा डिस्कशन कला लुकिंग ग्लास सेल्फ. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू द क्वेश्चन जो थरे तुमको लागेला दैट वी कैन अप्लाई दिस थ्योरी हियर यू कैन गिव इट. सेंते कार्ल मार्क्स रो भी बहुत कांसेप्ट अछि. कार्ल मार्क्स रो कांसेप्ट अछि, डकहाइम रो कांसेप्ट मन अछि. सेटा तो क्लास बहुत इलाबोरेट ही जीवो लेंदी जीवो किंतु एंती बहुत कांसेप्ट अछि जोटा तमे एप्लीकेशन करि परिबो. जेंती कार्ल मार्क्स कहिथिले तम रिडजर रे थिला हला पेज नंबर केते मत मन पड़नी. कार्ल मार्क्स रो कांसेप्ट थिला दैट in a capitalist society when a worker get exploited by the capitalist his family plays the role of exerting all his frustration. जेंति कि why there is domestic violence in the society. Domestic violence काहे के होची? Karl Marx said that it is because the worker is frustrated and he want to exert his frustration. So he exerts his frustration on the his spouse, and due to why you will see a lot of domestic violence cases rising in the capitalist system. एंती बोले देछि हला जदि मुसे रिडजर रे कोठी पाउछि आई विल अटैच इट इन योर नोट्स. ओके, तो सेंते सब जिंस तमे रिलेट करि परिबो, राइट?
यस थैंक यू.
कार जदि किछि डाउट नै then we'll wind up the class. Okay, ठीक अछि. Thank you all. Thank you for
ma'am.
joining the class today, even though kali tike problem hegala, but you came and gave your time here. Thank you so much. We'll end the class now. Notes I will send you in the Telegram. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.